Should we talk frames? Because there are so many different available to choose from, and they don't always say very clearly quite what they're like. Most of the frames that I have bought, I've had to put in my own acetate, but I just bought some thin sheets of acetate and cut them up to fit. So this is a little folding metal frame, and I know who all of the people are in these pictures. They're all my ancestors. This actually doesn't have any acetate, and I haven't put any in, but I might do. So that's going to go on a bedside table in Ashton Place. This is a very basic, simple brass frame. I think this did have the acetate with it, and that's going in Bramble Cottage. If you think of Miss Marple, some of the Miss Marples, they show her sitting with a picture of a military person, possibly they've lost in the war. So what have we got? We've got some very simple frames. This one is, sorry, out of camera. This one is painted black. This one is painted painted gold. Need to do a bit more sticking with glue there. And there was also a plain wood one, which I painted white and used in Bramble Cottage as a mirror. This is another very simple frame, which stained like this already with a little sort of goldish finish, painted finish or brassy finish. It's all right. Some have got recessed backs, some haven't, but I've just stuck in the pictures. I'll show you how I made the pictures in a minute. And I've got a picture floating around, and I know who's in the frame, but I'm blowed if I can find it. Now, I'm not sure if these came as a set of 3 or I ordered 3 together, but these are metal. They don't have a recessed back, but they're sort of a bit heavier weight than the wooden ones. So they're going to take some holding on while the glue dries. I might have to use super glue even, I'm not sure. But I really like those because they're a little bit not ornate, but not too over the top. Then we've got these, and these, I ordered 2 of these. Oh, there it is. There's the third one. There, sitting inside. There we are. So, yes, these are resin, probably quite lightweight, but yeah, not too heavy at all. A bit grander. These are not so grand. These are resin as well, but bigger, and a bit of sort of beading detail available in black or in gold. So I got 1 of each. It's very interesting to try, and then I know I need to get some more for Paul's ancestors, but I've done a lot of family history, so I've got quite a lot of pictures and I know who they are. But it's interesting to get the different frames and see what they're like. This is a resin one. It's quite lightweight, moulded. So these were, you know, these could be nice as mirrors. And that's got some quite nice detail on it. Sorry, I keep taking you off camera. And this is probably the grandest of them all. These are as they came. I haven't painted these. And this is resin or plaster or something like that. But grandest, probably. And there we are. That's what I've got so far. I will be making some frames, I think some simple frames. Normally as you go higher up the stairs, the frames become simpler. I've just got to work out where to put these or who's going to be stuck where, and I'll show you how it all ends up. So this is how I do the pictures for the frames. It's very techie. So this is just on a Word document. I don't have any clever digital imaging editing stuff. So I've just opened up a new Word document, and so there's my cursor there. This is on a Mac. Yours may be slightly different, but I can only show you what I can show you. Then I go to Insert, Pictures, picture from file, if I scroll down here, takes me to my photos, and then I can choose something from here, and we'll choose anything random that looks like, okay, we'll go for this one. It's me. It's not relevant to ancestors, Davies ancestors. But then when you go to the corner, so this has come up huge, and you see the little arrows in and out, and then I can squeeze that in and slide it along. Make it, oh, it's flipped around. Don't know how I did that. Probably because I'm trying to do this with one hand here. And take that, oh. So it's jumped into the space that was available. But as you move it in, can you see that height and width? So you've measured the size of the height and width for your frame, and then you can get this to the size that you want. Let's see what I did to just flip that. I don't know how I flipped it. There we are. Don't know how, but I could probably, if I go to undo, let's do undo again. There we are. No, it's made me bigger. There I am. So let's go from this side. If I scroll up, I like to go from the bottom up. That's my sort of preferred brain thing. There is, she's jumped into that space. So then I can get it to the size that I want, and then I'm just printing these out with my normal photocopier on normal copy paper, nothing clever or swanky, and then cut them out and putting them in the frame. That's all. That's as clever as it is. And if, you know, you might have pictures of historic pictures that aren't your ancestors, it doesn't matter, make them up if you want, that's fine. Have fun with it. What I didn't show you is you can crop it as well. So right click, crop, and it gives you a different outline here. So then I can crop that if I want to. So sometimes you've got far too much background. Ooh, just be careful, it will change the proportions sometimes. I think that's because that's obviously not on crop. Crop. Have to do a bit of playing with it. There we go, that's the crop. And see what happens, but you can always undo it and put it back to how it was. So let's show you the pictures in situ, the ones that I need to do more still. So that there is probably the grandest. This is like the entry from the front door. I've put a little mirror there. I've also included a little bit of a tour in my August diary, and you can see looking up, so there's a picture there on that landing, on that stairway. I've put the lights on so you can see the lights on because it's a really dull cold day today. And there is some more there. You have to imagine that you'd see them as you're going up the stairs. I didn't want them too hidden away though. So then there's more here. I thought I'd had loads, but actually once you start sticking them on the walls, there aren't that many at all, really. And then there's more up here. And I did decide, because I don't know when I'm going to be getting the frames for Paul's ancestors, to scatter mine around, and then I will add in Paul's later, in between. And I've decided to do a whole mix of the grand and the simple frames, if you like. Do a bit of a mix, because I tend to think if you're going upstairs, okay, this is my logic. I know there's nobody going up these stairs in reality, but you know, it's our world, isn't it? If you're going upstairs here and there was a great big bulky frame, just past your head there. I know that's probably a bit low, but anyway, you want to stand on the stairs and look at the pictures. If it was a big bulky frame, it would seem a bit odd. So I've tried to put the slender frames, the shallower frames, up the side of the stairs, and the bulkier frames sort of in the landing stairwell bit. Anyway, it's what looked right to me. You all have your own preferences.